On YouTube? It is your man, Two Down Dan, and today we are going to be tackling shifting on the Ninja 500. Now, we are going to cover everything from upshifting, downshifting, why I do it that way, how to change the shift light on your Ninja 500, all of what you're going to need to know if A, you have a Ninja 500, or B, you plan on getting this bike in the future. So this should be great for a whole bunch of you guys. Hit me up in the comments if you don't have the Ninja 500 yet, or you're thinking about grabbing a beginner bike and you need to learn how to shift, because that's what I'm going to hook you up with today. And keep in mind, there's really only 3 things that you need in order to shift. You're going to be using there's stuff going to be going on with the throttle. There's things going to be going on with your clutch. And there's things going to be going on with your shift lever, which is on your left foot. Honestly, you can take the rear brake completely out of play today. We won't even use it one bit. If you're a beginner rider, I honestly urge you, while you're dialing in your shifts and everything like that, and it's not too much, just completely erase the rear brake from your mind. You don't even need it. I used all front brake. I think for the first few months, it wasn't even a problem. And then once I got locked in, I switched and just tried, okay, let me try all rear brake now. So mess around with the brakes, but I highly recommend while you're learning shifting and the friction zone and everything, just deal with what's going on up here. Keep your body nice and controlled and in a sport position on your peg rather than trying to reposition for braking and all that stuff. But honestly, that's kind of like a whole other video. Today, we want to mainly talk about the fact that the lever just goes up and down right there based on how you're kicking it. And it's going to go click down into first and then up second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Now, the lever literally just goes like this, down and then up, 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 up. It's not like a clock where it's ticking, ticking, ticking. So your foot is always going to stay in the same place in relation to where the shift lever is. However, the shift lever is going to be here or whatever, and then your foot is going to have to go from in its sport position to under the lever to shift, and then back into onto the peg, right? So looks similar to this. I don't know exactly how it'll look, but it's like you're on the peg, and then it's like you got to go down to shift. So you have to shift your foot way underneath, or to downshift, kick down. But you're going to be moving your left foot a lot. Okay, so that's that. Now let's turn on the bike real quick and show you a few things on the dash. So if I open my dash up, hopefully you guys can see it perfectly fine. And I can go to vehicle settings. The first thing that's going to pop up is the shift lamp, which says on, and engine speed. So at 8,750 RPM, my dash is going to start telling me I need the next gear. So I'll pull in the clutch, drop down to first, and then I start going. The second my bike reads 8,750, it's going to start blinking and let me know to shift. This is all preference, by the way. You can set this at 6,000, you can set this at 8,000, 9,500, whatever you really want, depending on the type of riding you're doing. But we're covering all that today. I've found for commuting riding and just nice clean shifts without revving the engine too high, but also not like lugging it and short shifting, 8,750 seems to be a really nice sweet spot. If you want to call it an even 9,000, go ahead. But either way, right around there for the Ninja 500, that's where you're going to want to be aiming. And hopefully you know the process of, the overall shift, which is you're going to be riding, you're going to be on the throttle, right? So you already know how to friction zone, get out of that. You have your confidence riding in first gear. So you're in first, and then to shift up into second, you're going to quickly roll off the throttle, pull in the clutch, kick up sorry, I released that by accident. Kick up on the shifter to third, then release the clutch kind of smooth as you can. And right as you're doing that, roll back onto the throttle. But it's all happening simultaneously. So it's off the throttle, clutch, and foot all at the same time. Now, I don't really know how else to explain the process or show it to you without, setting the whole tripod up and doing that situation. But before we get off and going, like I said, okay, I'm going to keep my shift lamp at 8,750. I just wanted to show you that that's what it's at, so that you guys get a reference for when you see the RPMs go up. Once it hits there, that's when it's going to want me to shift, and I'll try to keep it into that range pretty much the whole time. So let's turn the bike on and, get it going. First off, you're going to have to be in neutral, of course. So once you get the bike started, your adrenaline's going to start pumping and everything like that. But now is the time to get excited and to ride. Like I said, if you don't know what you're doing with the friction zone and you don't know how the actual shifting works, that's kind of tough. But we're kind of already past that point in the channel and in your growth and whatnot. If you need to go watch those tutorials, go watch them. But we're going to be shifting up and down. I'll let you know when I'm shifting up and down with my foot. We're going to be using the clutch lever in and out every time we want to shift. And then if we're coming to a stop, we're pulling in the clutch and dropping down into first gear. You have to be in first gear with the clutch pulled in to come to a complete stop, or else the bike will stall. Once again, if you're coming to a stop, the bike has to be in first gear with the clutch pulled in, or the bike will stall. Otherwise, you are in neutral. So, boom, clutch pulled in. And we're going to pass the friction freeze zone like we already know how to do. So friction freeze, the bike moves, and boom, I added throttle. Now we're moving, baby. We're moving, we're grooving, we're on our Ninja 500. You're a beginner rider, you're super stoked, you're going to be having so much fun. This bike is insane, dude. It's an absolute machine. If you want to learn, if you want to look good on the street, if you want a nice, comfortable bike, dude, to have forever, just do what I do. Grab the Ninja 500 and have fun. So, 23 miles an hour in first gear on the Ninja 500, as you can see while we're cruising around, is 6,000 RPM. The bike's not making too much noise, and it's just kind of cruising. This would be your neighborhood speed. You do not need to go into second gear. So here, I'll start feathering the clutch because there's a lot of gravel. Feathering the clutch, slowly rolling back onto the throttle to make that U-turn. And here, I'll make another U-turn right here. So front brake, slowly pulling in the clutch, slowly feathering the clutch now to get a little bit more power. Look here, you want to do a little figure eight with a shiz load of gravel. So, hopefully you're past this point, right? With your control and your friction zone, right? You can do quick little figure eights like this, no problem, and then ride out. But now we don't even need to shift yet, right? So I am gonna go out towards the main road and start talking about when I'm gonna be shifting. But like I said before, it's going to be right at that like 8750 mark, and boom, you're going to pull that clutch in, roll on and off the throttle real quick. While you're doing that, you got to simultaneously kick up. It's an interesting little process for sure. It's very hard to articulate while you're riding and doing it, but once you get on the bike, it's funny how intuitive it feels. So here, I'll do it right now. Ready? So preemptively, the most important thing, and if you take anything from the rest of this video, take this, honestly. When you're shifting, your foot position is gonna ultimately be the most important, your left foot position, because you're gonna be, right now, I'm riding the bike, your foot is way up here. You need to be on your tippy toes in order to be in the proper position where your feet are in the right sport position, right? I don't want you flat-footed. I don't want your foot anywhere really near that shift lever as you're riding around, even in first gear like this, feet up, sport position. So when you need to shift, you got to get ready. I need to put my foot in a way different position. You need to feel that lever. You need to get you a shoe or a boot or whatever, where while you're learning, you can get the foot underneath the shift lever and gain that confidence. That's why a lot of people, you'll see them wearing sneakers. You can feel the shift lever and whatnot much better with sneakers, and I get why they're out there riding in sneakers. So We're gonna pull out onto the street. Lane split through here again. This whole time you've seen me riding on the Ninja 500, I haven't even hit second gear. We're gonna push through here and hit second. Ready, 3, 2, 1. I moved my foot into position. Third gear. We're going around this guy. I'll go fourth. I'm in fourth, but I need to slow down already, way down. So, getting your foot into position on the left side is the most important thing, because that's gonna allow you to not miss your shift, over rev the engine, do any absolute garbage. So you're in a nice position, you got your knees into the tank, you're ready to go, and then boom, you are gonna have to move your left knee off that tank, keep the right one planted, you know, as much as you can or whatever, try not to move it, and then move that left ankle, start moving that ankle, get it into position. I'm in third gear. If I wanted to rev up right now, honestly, I could just catch up. Ready, in third gear, and then roll off the throttle. I don't even need to go into fourth. I could literally make a whole video on how you never need more than fourth gear for the Ninja 500 on the back roads. Even most of the time in California, I'm never popping out a third gear for the back streets. I'm just in third gear, just having the time of my life. Yo, if you guys can't tell by these videos, or by the sound of my voice, my enthusiasm, just every time I'm on this bike, it is, every day is the continual best day of my life that I get to ride this thing. It is such an awesome bike, dude. It has made me so excited for my future in riding motorcycles and owning this bike and progressing through the ranks to get a bigger bike and then a bigger bike after that, just for the fun of it, not because you need it at all. But learning the shifting, learning the friction zone, you guys are in the right place. I'm gonna continue putting out videos like this, but every day you watch me on my bike is just another day, watch me on the 500 specifically, is another day that you'll gain confidence on your bike or your 500, because you just replicate the nice kind of smooth shifting patterns that I'm trying to show you. And as I take this left here and get going, I will really try to explain and have you guys look at the speedometer at where the revs are going. All right, so let's see if this guy wants to get, okay, sick. He's gonna let me kind of go. I thought he was gonna run out on me quick. So first gear, now I'm getting my foot in position, ready, boom, shift. Right before it was even telling me to shift. Watch, see, it told me to shift again. The second that screen goes orange on you and you hear the bike going too loud, you're ready to go. But again, already keeping up a pace that's too fast. So if I want to go into this corner, fourth gear, I'd have to slowly drop down into third and realize that this white car is going. Drop down to first, actually. Nice. Okay, foot under the pedal. Right into second. And if you hit it nice, like that clutch, that shift was really good, the exhaust will make a very sweet little poof, little pop. It'll tell you, it'll be like, hey, you hit that one nice. But for real, I hope you guys are having fun on whatever bike or just enjoying your learning process, because I was watching videos, you know, teaching videos, just regular people riding around videos, anything where anyone was on a bike riding, I was watching, dude, just because it's really that much fun, it's that exciting. But you do have to take it with caution. Like last video we said, we have the homies in the hospital right now, Jigsabr's in the hospital right now. Like, dude, if he can go down, anybody can go down, but we already knew anybody could go down before. It's not like we needed Jigsabra to go down for everybody in the community to be like, oh my god, it really can happen to anybody. Yes, dude, of course this can happen to anybody, and of course it's could or would happen to the guy who's putting the most risk, some of the most risk daily into this sport. Like, dude, the wheelies that he's doing on a daily basis are an absolute professional level, non-stop wheelies. He could be on any of these tours, any of these Red Bull, Kawasaki team tours or whatever, but he'd rather just do his own thing and do YouTube. Like, there's two different lives to it. You could be Jason Britton or you could be Jigsabra. It just depends. They both have the same skill. Jason Britton is way older now, but like, bro, there's a lot to talk about, but I hope at this point, if you're watching, you're kind of still not really, hopefully you're kind of good on the shifting situation. Look at this, another stop sign. This is when people like freak out about stop signs, but it's like, dog, freak out when there's nobody here. This is why I live over here, man. There's nobody, it's peaceful, it's chill. I don't have Karens anywhere. I just get to ride my 500 like a little kid, dude. That's how I feel every day. Let's cook it up. So second gear, third gear, shift it up into fourth, and now, okay, I'm going way too fast to go around this corner. I see the stoplight. I'm in fourth, so to downshift, when it goes to 4,000, boom, I'll click down, release the clutch. And then 4,000 again, click down, release the clutch. I'm already in second, engine brake, a lot of engine brake. I'll U-turn right here, click down, shift to first, U-turn right here, back up this hill, okay? So there was that friction freeze area right there. I do it every time. So first gear now, watch my throttle. Hopefully you guys are watching the correct areas, right? Which is the throttle on the right side and my hand. I'll try to do it with as little fingers as possible. I'll go from second to third, ready? Just watch. See? A little doop and a little boop. Doop. How about doop? Like that. I don't know what to call it or how y'all should remember it, but just do a little scoop boop. That's it. It is pretty simple. The only way you will ever learn is by doing it yourself, compadre. No MSF course teacher or whatever will be able to grab your hand and do it and make you remember it or whatever. I don't care. At the end of the day, you are out on the road here by yourself with your bike. So take the time in the parking lot or the neighborhood that you're starting in, like I did. Take a ton of time in there. Make sure you feel really comfortable, because you're gonna have to reach speeds out here that are not possible in your little neighborhood, and the engine's gonna brake different than you've ever felt before, and the downshifts are gonna jolt the bike in different ways than you've ever felt before. So think about it all, feel it, consider it. 4,000 RPM downshift, 4,000 downshift again to first, feather that clutch back out, barely touching the brake, barely touching the brake, putting my foot down to stop myself, pop into neutral for like 2 seconds as we are rounding out the conclusion for this video, which is be friction freeze first. Then once you get rolling, 25 to 30 miles an hour, shift up, and then 50 miles an hour, shift up. So pretty much like every 25 to 30 miles an hour on the Ninja 500, you got to be shifting up. It doesn't want to be in that high 10,000-ish rev range. That's no good for anybody. For you, the bike, the sound, just nothing. And then take your 500 and always get to the front, because you can angle yourself right here. I can put both my legs down, which is a great time to say that I am wearing my armored gear. Oh shit. Hold up. Yeah, I'm wearing armored gear, and where's the blinker on all these Mo's? And I got both my Tramoto kits on me, yo. So if you guys need a kit to keep you safe in the future, before you get on your bike, while you're on your bike, when you're in your car, doesn't matter, dude. They have options for everything. They also have these new Tag Easy tags, which I haven't shown you yet. But you put it on your helmet and it keeps your medical information, your emergency contacts and everything. So just in case your phone gets smashed or you can't remember numbers or you're unconscious, it is a very, very safe feature for $10 to add to your helmet. It's sick. I'll be showing you guys that. So shout out Tramoto, shout out MBT for keeping us safe on our bikes. And the most important thing, since we're shifting, braking, and using our levers every single day, you might as well get a good quality set from 6061. They've been the homies from the very beginning. They also have second gear, think about it, roll, third, boom, shifting. I'll do a more in-depth review. If you think I missed anything, hit me up. But yeah, Use 6061 for some levers, 2 down Dan, 7% off, you know, the deal ski, and hook yourself up with some gear, dude, because you're gonna save money and be looking like the best people out on the road. Also, the whole time I'm shifting with the shift lever on my foot with my beautiful, look at this, ride iron shoes. Amazing. I feel connected to the bike, but also my foot doesn't, you know, get hurt or anything like that. Like legit, when I wear sneakers and not these ride iron shoes, my feet kill after each ride because the sole is not strong enough. The ride iron sole knows what it's doing. All these people, all these companies are amazing. Use the links in the description to hook yourself up with good gear. Watch, subscribe, all the 2 Down Dan content that's out there now. I have tutorials, highway videos, mod videos, everything kind of related to the Ninja 500 that you could want if you're a beginner. Cruise through my channel. Say what's up in the comments. I never miss a comment. You know your boy's out here and after it. Tell me how your day is. Tell me how your last ride was. Say what's up. Say a video idea, something like that. Anything. Subscribe in the middle. Watch another 2 Down video on the left or right. But that's been your boy. And by your boy, I mean that's been your man, 2 Down Dan. Have a great day, you guys. Keep those wheels 2 down. Later. Till the next time.